welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. If you do want to see a review and a demo, please keep watching. The two shades that I did pick up are the shades 330 Toffee Caramel and 334 Warm Sun. 330 is this one, and this is 334 Warm Sun. Maybelline did reformulate their packaging, and this is a brand new formula. It's supposed to be oil-free 24-hour wear. Retail for $11.99 each on ultabeauty.com. I picked up two different shades just in case, because I wasn't sure what my color match was. So we're going to try these out and we are going to wear them throughout the entire day. I will come back and do a check-in, and then of course at the end of the week I will tell you guys what my final thoughts are on the foundation. When you open up the top, it does come with a little pump, so that is useful. So let's see what the shade Toffee Caramel does look like. So let's pump one out. And here we have the shade Toffee Caramel. I think Toffee Caramel might be my shade. Here we have the shade Warm Sun, and this does come with a pump as well. So let's pump this on the other side of my hand. I'm going to do one pump again. That looks a little bit too orange. So let's blend this out. Yes, so this looks a little bit too orange. So here we have Warm Sun, and this is Toffee Caramel. So since one shade looks kind of my shade match and the other shade does look a little bit too orange, I'm going to swatch it on my face. So I'm just going to take one pump of the shade Toffee Caramel and just apply this to the face. I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Beauty Sponge. This is what it looks like. It's just this gray sponge, and it didn't cost me that much, and this does come in a 3-pack as well. I'm using the gray shade. You do get a black sponge and a white one as well. So I'm just going to be taking the back of the sponge and just blending this out. I'm not sure if I do like this sponge or not, because I feel like I used this sponge once and I'm not sure if I'm liking it so far. But I do like how it does blend. This sponge is also latex free, and there's no animal testing as well. So one side of my face I did apply the shade Toffee Caramel, and the other side of my face doesn't have anything, but I feel like the shade Warm Sun is going to be a little bit too orange for me, so I will be using Warm Caramel for my entire face. I did also notice that this formula, this foundation, is a very thick, moussey formula, which I do really like as well. I do notice that this foundation doesn't give me that full coverage look that I do like, so I am going to build up the foundation with another layer. I did build up the foundation to my liking, and I feel like I like this coverage better, but I do feel like the foundation is starting to turn orange on me. It's starting to oxidize, and that's something that I don't really like. It did dry down on the back of my hand, and I did notice it changing a different color. That's something I don't really like. And here we have Warm Sun. So that's side-by-side comparison on what they look like when it's dry. Warm Sun isn't really dried all the way down, but it's a little bit tacky, so it does come off a little bit, whereas this shade Toffee Caramel did dry down completely, and it's not tacky at all. It's smooth to the touch, and I have nothing on there. I will be wearing this foundation the entire day, and I will check back in with you guys at the end of the night to see how this foundation did wear, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so it is the end of the night of me testing out the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. I really do like the foundation staying power. It did last on me quite a long time. As you guys can see, I do have a little bit of shininess going on. Nose and my cheek area, that's where I do get a lot of my oils. But what I did notice is that this foundation is breaking me out. I've kept my moisturizer the same, my foundation primer the same, and I really haven't changed anything but the foundation that I'm using. So I think something in this formula, the ingredients, I'm probably allergic to some of the ingredients in this. I've been wearing this foundation about 9.5 hours. Today was a long day, so I really wanted to test out this foundation, and I gotta say this foundation has been one of the best foundations I've tried, and I do like the color match. It does match me. I'm going to zoom you guys in for a closer look. So you guys are zoomed all the way in, and you guys can definitely see how good this foundation does last. It does last a pretty long time, which I do really like. and it is supposed to be oil free, but with me I just become oily and shiny, so that's just me. So I don't think it's the foundation. I did set the foundation with the Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder. I also used the Kat Von D setting spray to set the makeup, and I think this foundation did wear quite nicely throughout the day. I will check back in with you guys at the end of the week to tell you my final thoughts on the Maybelline Superstay foundation, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so it is the end of the week of me testing out the Maybelline Superstay foundation, and my final thoughts on this foundation is that I don't really like it. I don't like how this foundation does make me look a little bit orange. If I don't use a translucent setting powder like the Kat Von D Lock-It translucent setting powder, then this foundation is definitely going to make me orange. So what I've been doing throughout this entire week, I've been taking a little bit of the Kat Von D Lock-It translucent setting powder with my damp beauty blender. I've been just using that and just like baking the face, and I bake the entire face. I'll just take a little bit on my beauty blender and just bake my face with it, and I will press in the rest of the powder like so. So I'm just going ahead and just pressing in the powder. I do have a little bit of highlighter on, that's why you do see a little bit of that glow. But that's what basically I've been doing to kind of avoid the foundation from oxidizing and turning me orange essentially at the end of the night. But once I do that, once I do set this with the Kat Von D translucent setting powder, I do notice a huge difference. So after I set it, there is a bit of a white cast, but that only comes off camera. After I set my face with the Kat Von D translucent setting powder, I take my Kat Von D setting mist and I shake it up and I just set my face. I go back with my beauty blender and I just press in all of the setting spray into my face. That way it keeps the makeup lasting all day and all night. That's what makes the foundation stay longer when I do use my Kat Von D products. I feel like this foundation does not work for me. It does oxidize throughout the day. I do have to blot and powder throughout my entire day, and it doesn't have a good shade range in my opinion for tan to olive skin complexion. The Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation is something that I won't be reaching for. I would rather reach for my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. If you guys wanted an update on the e.l.f. Beauty Sponge, I don't really like this sponge. This sponge ended up crumbling all over the place. It ended up actually breaking apart, and I don't really have long fingernails. I have really short nails, and I'm not sure why this beauty sponge has been crumbling and breaking up. This e.l.f. sponge is very, very firm, so when I am blending out my foundation, you hear that noise, and it's very, very stiff, so that's something that I don't like, whereas the beauty blender is a little bit softer on your face and it's not as stiff. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.